Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lieutenant Colonel Sherry Perkins, mentee, protege, a shoulder to cry on, crying on the other end of the phone of Colonel Mentzer, and your narrator for today's celebration. On behalf of the presiding official for today's ceremony, the 21st Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein, United States Air Force retired, welcome to the retirement ceremony in honor of Colonel Eries Lauren Gibson Mentzer, as we celebrate her 27 years of distinguished service to our nation and the United States Air Force. Throughout the ceremony, you'll be asked to stand and be seated at the appropriate times. As a reminder, during the national anthem, military members should stand at attention, and our civilian guests should place their right hand over their hearts. Today, we experience one of the oldest and most traditional ceremonies in our military heritage. The tradition honors Air Force members as they retire from a long and honorable career in service to our nation. A retirement ceremony is designed to reflect upon and celebrate the journey, service, and achievements of a military family with all of their loved ones and teams who empowered their freedoms to serve. Today's ceremony is in keeping with those customs and traditions as we celebrate Colonel Eries Mentzer, her husband Eddie, and their son Jax. We are honored to have some very special guests with us today. Please hold your applause until all guests have been introduced. It is my pleasure to introduce Colonel Mentzer's family, her husband Eddie and their son Jax, her sister Erica, and with receipts, her most trusted counselor, advisor, and the most special sister here today, her sons Hunter, Merrick, Phoenix, and Osiris. Not to be forgotten, her sister Erin, brother-in-law Rich, and their children, Narcissa and Solana. Her brother John, and joining virtually his wife Jessica and daughter Violet. Her brother Jarian, sister-in-law Patty, and their kids Lena and Xavier. Her uncles Charlie, Eddie, Kenny, Kevin, Mark, and Bert. Her aunts Elisa, Terry, Sharon, and Denise. And her cousins, who may still be on their way, but if they're watching virtually, Chucky and Bryce. And a host of friends and loved ones far and wide. We would also like to welcome several distinguished guests in attendance today. The Commander, Air Force Special Operations Command, Lieutenant General Tony Fine. The Deputy Commander, Air Force Special Operations Command, Major General Rebecca Sonkis. The Special Assistant to the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mr. Sam Neal. Air Force Civic Leader, Mr. Bernard Johnson. The Director of Operations, Air Force Special Operations Command, Brigadier General Michael Connolly. The Director of Military Justice and Discipline, Department of the Air Force, Brigadier General Gail Crawford. The Director of Plans and Programs, Air Force Special Operations Command, Brigadier General Nate Owendahl. The Chief of Staff, Air Force Special Operations Command, Colonel Craig Prather. The Command Chief, Air Force Special Operations Command, Chief Master Sergeant Anthony Green. The Alabama Governor's Office Director of Minority Affairs, Ms. Stacia Robinson, her son, Dr. Maurice Robinson, and her daughter, Jalen Robinson. The Director of Strategic and Community Engagements, Office of the Secretary of Defense, Ms. Victoria Bowen. The Executive Director, Harriet Truman Presidential Library, Mr. Alex Burton. Former White House Director of Veterans Engagement, Mr. Jimmy L. Anderson. Senior Curator of the National World War II Museum, Ms. Kimberly Guys. Director of the African American Military Heritage Hall, Mr. Jonathan Holmes Sr., and Mr. Brian Olmstead. And to all other friends, family, commanders, command chiefs, directors, deputies, senior enlisted leaders, teammates, the AFSOC A7 and ACDC team, welcome and thank you for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand because only bread rises for the arrival of the official party, the playing of musical honors, the presentation of the colors by the Covert Honor Guard, singing of the national anthem by Lieutenant Maya Marshall, aka Beyonce, and invocation by Chaplain Janice Thomas.
sent harms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Harms. Colors. Colors turn. March.
Before we pray, I'd like to invite everyone to join me in a brief moment of silence as we remember and honor our fallen brothers and sisters in arms. Eternal and loving God, we thank you for this significant moment in the life of Colonel Eries Mentzer and her family. Lord, we honor you for allowing Colonel Mentzer to achieve over 27 years of exceptional service to the United States Air Force and this great nation. God, we give you praise for protecting and providing for Colonel Mentzer as she persevered throughout her career. Lord, we are grateful today that you didn't allow Colonel Mentzer to grow weary in her well-doing. Instead, you gave her the courage and tenacity to press on even in the face of adversity. We give you honor, God, for granting Eries the strength and grace to successfully run her Air Force race with excellence and elegance. God, in your infinite wisdom, you brought Eries and Eddie together and blessed them with the gift of their exceptional child and young man, Jax. Lord God, we thank you for the faithfulness and the fortitude of the Mentzer family. Lord, we acknowledge that this achievement was not earned in isolation. And so today, we also give thanks for the sacred community of friends, extended family, and colleagues that have supported the Mentzer family and that are here celebrating with them today. Gracious God, I ask that you grant the Mentzer family limitless love and boundless hope as they embark on their new adventure together. And in those moments where they reflect on just how far they have come and everything they have overcome, may you fill their hearts with a deep and abiding appreciation for one another. May their days ahead be filled with unspeakable joy and unshakable peace, knowing that you are with them. Abide with us in this celebratory moment, God. Dwell with us here today. We ask your blessings upon this ceremony and all who are present. In your most holy name, amen.
The retirement ceremony symbolizes the culmination of Colonel Mentzer's 27 years of heart and hustle personified while challenging the status quo to secure more freedom to serve for those she was privileged to lead. Colonel Mentzer is among the 1% of our nation who voluntarily took the oath to support and defend this nation. She persisted, exemplifying excellence in a profession where women today remain underrepresented and even fewer Black women rise. Through all their achievements of a combined 55 years of federal service, Colonel Mentzer and Eddie have remained dedicated and committed public service while modeling dual versus dueling careers. So together, they could serve and raise their beloved son Jax while serving their nation. They're stronger together. To lead us in reflection and celebration of Colonel Mentzer's service, ladies and gentlemen, our presiding official, General Retired Felton.
Well, howdy. Warm welcome to everyone here today, and especially the family and friends of Colonel Eries, Eddie, and Jax Mentzer. It's great to see you. Now, I must tell you that I got a new call sign after I retired. I now go by JD, which stands for Just Dave. This is the face of retirement. And for those of you who are retirees in training, there is nothing to fear. So when I'm asked if I miss the Air Force and being chief, I tell folks, you know what I miss most is spending time with airmen. And occasionally I miss traveling on the G5. Other than that, I love being a cheerleader from the retiree ranks. So I want to begin by thanking Eddie and Eries for this opportunity. It's an absolute honor to do it for, not only for a passionate and charismatic leader, and one of the 10 best team builders I've ever known, but also a great airman and a family that I admire. And how cool that I could be part of your retirement when, after all, you were the person who coordinated all of mine. And among the many wonderful moments of handing over responsibility for our beloved Air Force to my good friend, General C.Q. Brown, there was a nice surprise of learning that a quote I gave during testimony made it to the wall of the Air Force Memorial. And someday my grandchildren will visit the memorial and they'll see a quote from their papa. And I'll forever be grateful to you, Eries, for working it for me, for my family, and for our Air Force. And there's someone else here today who also had a hand in that. Someone I call my lifelong sensei, Sam Neill. It's good to see the Team 21 come back together. And how incredible it is to do this at the home of the Air Commandos, because this community is responsible for the fact that I'm standing here today as a proud grandfather, a dad, a husband, and a former chief. First there, that others like me might live. 25 years ago, last month, some incredible Air Commandos rescued me from deep inside Serbia after I brilliantly intercepted an enemy missile with my aircraft. And they get a bottle of single malt scotch every year on the 2nd of May. And I know the squadrons that pick me up are praying I live a long and healthy life. So all the Air Commandos in the room, thank you. And a very special welcome to so many family and friends of Eries and Eddie who traveled to be here. And Eries, I know your mom, Lenora, is smiling down and watching us from above. And we're blessed that Mom always taught you to serve others and have faith and always work to create a better place, despite, as she said, that you will face hardship. And I know your mom and dad are so proud of the leader you became, what you stand for, and the lasting impacts you've made. So last night at dinner, which was extraordinary, thanks to the Armament Museum directors Brian Olmsted and Jonathan Holmes, you shared that this is the first time all of your brothers and sisters have gathered in years. And all are staying in your home. Except the youngest, Jarian and Patty, who are staying in the Airstream. How wonderful that you can all be here together to celebrate this momentous occasion as a family, because these are the moments that are cherished for a lifetime. So as I thought about how to tell the Eries and Eddie story, I kept coming back to the very center of their world. And in the end, the most important contribution of their combined legacy. And that is, of course, their incredibly talented and gifted son, Jackson. Over all the years I've known these two, when your parents talk about you, Jax, their eyes light up and their pride bursts describing your latest accomplishments, whether at school, with your friends, or perhaps a moment I was told about recently when you were sprinting to the finish of a race and one of the runners ahead of you stumbled and fell. But rather than seeing this as an opportunity to move ahead, you stopped, helped him up, brushed him off, and ran the final mile side by side with him so you could finish together. To some, this might seem like an incredible story of a young man with a huge heart and a wonderful character. But as the son of Eries and Eddie, it comes as no surprise. Taking care of others is Mentzer family business. So today, on the occasion of your mom's retirement, I'm going to direct most of my comments to you, the pride of their lives. Now, you know most, if not all, of this story, but I hope you come away with an even greater appreciation of who your mom is and what she and your dad have meant to all of us and so many who could not be here. So here's my thesis. Your mom changes lives. She has so many unique gifts and uses them all to make our world a better place. She sees goodness in others that they don't often see in themselves. And when someone stumbles, she never runs by it. She always stops, brushes them off, and then holds them up until she knows they can run on their own. Your mom is one of the greatest gifts the Air Force has ever known. And so I'll begin the story with a childhood experience that set the foundation for many of your mom's passions to this day. Your grandpa Larry had an assignment to Harold War College in Montgomery, Alabama, that proved to be incredibly hard for the entire family. And I won't go into details, but the discrimination that occurred set Eries on a path and a dream to get to the University of Virginia to become a civil rights attorney. As captain of the cheerleading squad, active in a variety of sports and activities, and while working at Walmart for 7 years, she set her sights on this singular goal. No surprise, to help others in need, to pick them up and brush them off. But life gets in the way of the perfect plan, and she went first to Iowa State before transferring to the University of Nebraska to help mom. And in order to get financial assistance, she earned a full ride ROTC scholarship. But the military was not her passion. It was merely a vehicle to get her to law school. And I love the story about Eries doing the absolute minimum in ROTC. Getting the lowest grade in her class. So you and I have something in common, Eries. I only flunked one class in high school, junior ROTC. And Jax, given your very cool hairstyle, I'm betting junior ROTC is not on your radar. Like mother, like son. So joining the Air Force was merely a path to law school at the University of Virginia. And your mom volunteered to go to Izmir as a first assignment so she could get a follow-on to Langley and then get out as soon as she could to get into UVA. And while in Izmir, she played soccer on a local team under this coach named Eddie. Tall, handsome, incredible athlete. She looked at him and thought, not bad. But Eddie had only one flaw. He benched your mom. Their first date was at the graduation of Izmir High School, where Eddie was the guest speaker and the director of all youth activities. And your mom thought, what a winner. And the rest, of course, is history. They fell in love and decided to get married at their next assignment in Spangdahlem. Rather than fly, they thought a cruise from Greece to Germany would be far more romantic. So they booked passage on a 4-day ferry from Izmir to Venice. It was awful. Hot, cramped, terrible food, terrible crew. They finally got to Venice. It was so bad they drove nonstop in Eddie's Jeep to Spain, where they arrived, and there was no room waiting. They finally got settled, and Eddie, the fiance, looked lovingly into your mom's eyes and said, "You're okay, right? I gotta go play soccer." It was almost the end of the marriage. And interestingly, they were on a commercial airline flying to Nebraska on 9/11. And like so many others, they got diverted into Toronto, Canada for 4 days. And no doubt, they worked to ensure everyone else was taken care of before themselves. So during their time in Spain, when she was recognized as Company Grade Officer of the Year, she was told about a new program called Air Force Intern. It allowed for a year at George Washington University, followed by assignments as an intern under senior leaders of the Department of Defense. So she got to work for folks like General Brady and Tim Byland, and for Deputy Secretary Gordon England and Secretary Donald Rumsfeld. And while Mom was working at the highest levels of the Department of Defense, Dad joined the Department of Agriculture in a position focused on supporting the Guard and Reserve with land grant extensions. But the position was not in D.C. It was in Hampton, Virginia, which often became a 7-hour weekend commute. But of course, the most important event during their time in D.C. and Virginia is that despite the separation, you were born at Bethesda. This couple was now a loving family. But we're a nation at war, and we needed your mom to deploy forward, as so many of us were doing across the Middle East. Luckily, Dad was able to move up to D.C. in an OSD position focused on military families, a passion that continues to this day. So in 2011, Mom headed to Al Udeid Air Base in lovely Qatar as a squadron commander, while Dad became a single parent, taking you through potty training and teaching you how to read. And it was at Al Udeid that I first met your mom on the flight line during a dignified transfer of one of our fallen. We spoke as we waited for the C-17, and she told me her story. And I met her on several other occasions during other times there. She's not someone you forget as a leader. And we were both assigned back to the Pentagon and the Joint Staff, where we connected again. There was this very sensitive issue going on with the White House that Eries, in her usual creative way, was able to resolve in a way few could. And I was made aware of it and made my way to her office to give her a DJS coin. As I walked in, I thought, man, she looks familiar. And after a few moments, it all became clear from our time staying in the heat of Qatar, honoring our fallen together. As I walked back to my desk, I thought, I need an exec. And she might just be the perfect fit. But then I heard she was interviewing to be the junior exec for the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, my boss, General Marty Dempsey. And you probably know this, Eries, but I negotiated with the chairman to hire somebody else so I could hire you. And he reluctantly agreed. And this began what became a wonderful long journey together in 3 positions. And having been an exec for General Mike Ryan earlier in my career, I knew a little bit about what makes a good one and what doesn't. Front office duty is about learning and serving. You learn so much about leadership by watching someone deal with all the challenges. You see how the balance of character and competence comes together and matters. And you fill your tool bag with traits and skills that will serve you in future leadership positions. And it's about serving because a great exec comes to the position with no ego. Nothing an exec does is about her or him. It's all about the mission of the boss. And Jax, your mom is gifted in both of these. She has this ability to squint with her ears, to listen at an extraordinary level. to read a room, to figure out a way to help everyone offer their very best. And she's among the most egoless leaders I've ever known. Nothing is ever about her. It's always about someone else. The trust that she generates in every setting is founded on this incredible heart and giving spirit that she brings to everyone she comes in contact with. I saw this every day in the office of the Director of the Joint Staff, along with Maria, Santiago, who brings very similar traits, Maria, and is here honoring your mom and dad. When I moved to Vice Chief and asked Eries if she might join me as speechwriter, probably one of her most challenging positions ever given her boss's attention deficit disorder, because despite my best efforts at her urging, I could never concentrate on a speech until the night prior, or sometimes even the morning of, like this morning. But it did allow me to promote your mom to Colonel below the zone in the Hall of Heroes. I know some of the family members were there for that. As we moved from the Vice Chief office to the Chiefs down the hall, where she became my junior exec, deferring school to help me lead the Air Force. I don't believe I would have made that journey had it not been for your mom. During all this time, Eries helped me move the Air Force. Dad was out running child care programs for the Department of Defense and was selected to oversee DoD-wide efforts to improve employment programs for military spouses. How appropriate, given his experiences having to move to Hampton to find work and then becoming a single parent growing up at one. So following school as a fellow at the Woodrow Wilson Center, where she wrote a paper that changed command training across the Air Force, Eries was selected to be the Vice Wing Commander at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling. I'll emphasize the term Joint Base. Somehow in earlier days, we had given ownership of our flagship base in DC to the Navy. And for our wonderful friends in the Sea Service, focus and money is not put towards shore duty. So your mom accomplished what so many others before her had tried and failed. She negotiated a way to get ownership of Bowling Air Force Base back to the Air Force. Talk about legacy. And she also, with your dad's help and stewardship, established a charter school on JBAT. Who does that? Your mom. And it was during this time that we were planning the transition between Team 21 and Team 22 for General C.Q. Brown. And your mom graciously offered to help run the transition for both of us during the middle of COVID. Eries, I can never thank you for all you've done for me and for Dawn, who wishes she could be here and sends her best in so many assignments together. You're at the foundation of so many successes in our Air Force, but in typical fashion, you've never taken any of the credit. The culmination of this incredible Air Force journey was our assignment to Maxwell Air Force Base as the wing commander. Back to the place where the passion for helping others, for standing up for herself and for her family, and for picking up all those who fall and brush them off, started. Your work to honor Rosa Parks will stand for all time. And Secretary Barbara Baird attended the dedication and sent me a note to thank you for making that happen and including her in the celebration of an incredible life. You championed Congressional Gold Medal recognition for women who served during World War II and honored Sharon Frontiera, who fought for equalized pay. But most important, perhaps, you were a role model for all who served in that wing. All of your preparation, all of your passion, your expertise, your talents, all of your gifts were poured into that command, and everyone there is better for it. And just as you and Eddie have done throughout your career together, you became the perfect role models for what a real command team looks like. Taking care of families so airmen can take care of the mission. So how appropriate that your final brushstroke on our Air Force would be here, developing the next generation of Air Commandos. I often told commanders, you have lots of things you're responsible for, but one obligation you must fulfill and you cannot delegate. You must ensure every airman entrusted to your care, sent into harm's way, is properly organized, trained, equipped, and courageously led, so they can accomplish our mission to return home to their families who have cared for and who we have cared for while they're gone. This is our mirror check every day. Eries, in a few moments, you'll stand before us as the retirement order is read. It is my honor, on behalf of the grateful nation, to state that you have fulfilled your commitment that you first made so many years ago at the University of Nebraska in 1997, standing in front of Mom and Dad to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you have bared true faith and allegiance to the same. And you have well and faithfully discharged your duties as an officer, a wife, a mother, and an inspirational leader. Congratulations to you and your incredible family, and thank you for letting me be part of your special day. May God bless our great nation and our long blue line, including Colonel Eries Mentzer, who have always and always will stand to defend her. Thank you.
Attention to orders. To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Act of Congress July 20, 1942, has awarded the Legion of Merit, 2nd Oak Fleet Cluster, to Colonel Eries L.G. Mentzer. The accompanying citation reads, Colonel Eries L.G. Mentzer distinguished herself by exceptionally meritorious conduct in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Director, Air Commando Development, Headquarters, Air Force Special Operations Command, Hurlbut Field, Florida, from 13 August 2022 to 31 August 2024. During this period, she impressively navigated exceptional change resistance and led her team to pathfind the first ever Major Command A7 Directorate and new Air Commando Development Center that now pivots 21,750 Air Commandos from decades of countering violent extremism against a lesser adversary to near-peer competition. To strengthen trust, innovation, and discipline risk, Colonel Mentzer launched Mission Command Summits and professional development and Fight Tonight dashboards integrating major and combatant command resources to empower best military advice and validate deployment readiness. She also masterfully matured Joint Task Force Indo-Pacific training, readying the team for the tragic Gunman 22 response. The first Black woman to lead an Air Force Special Operations Command Directorate, her championing of the Women's Initiatives team, and honoring of the 75th anniversary of Executive Order 9981 that desegregated the military, enhanced inclusion and readiness, earning her recognition as the 2023 Blacks in Government Meritorious Service Award Leader of the Year. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Mentzer culminate a distinguished career in service to her country and reflect great credit upon herself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the publishing of the retirement order.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. The Department of the Air Force, Washington District of Columbia, Special Order Number AL000028, dated 5 October 2023, effective 31 August 2024, Colonel Eries L.G. Mentzer is relieved from active duty. Organization and station of assignment retired effective 1 September 2024 per AFI 363203 in the grade of Colonel by order of Secretary of the Air Force. To all who shall see these presents greetings, this is to certify that Colonel Eries L.G. Mentzer, having served faithfully and honorably, will be retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of September 2024, signed General David Alvin, Chief of Staff, United States Air Force. Accompanying the retirement certificate are letters of appreciation for her dedication and 27 years of service to our nation from Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force David Flossie and Presidents George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, and Joe Biden. These letters will be on display during the reception. As a special surprise for Colonel Mentzer, and in the same spirit of her harrowing adventure, hand-delivering the Presidential Retirement Certificate to General Goldfein for Sensac Cody, where she nearly got taken down by the Secret Service to get it signed. We have a letter from the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, hand-carried and specially delivered from the Pentagon by Mr. Samuel. The letter reads, in my best General C.Q. Brown voice. Dear Colonel Mentzer, on behalf of the U.S. Armed Forces, thank you for your commitment to our nation and congratulations on your retirement from the U.S. Air Force. Our nation is indebted to you for the personal sacrifices you have made throughout your exceptional career. For more than 27 years of service to our country, you continually displayed the highest levels of commitment to our airmen and the Joint Force. As the first director for the Air Force Special Operations Command, Air Commando Development Directorate, you continually displayed the highest levels of visionary leadership and ensured our air commandos are ready to conduct special operations at any time and any place. The foundation you built and the impact you made will undoubtedly have a generational impact on our military. I truly appreciate your unwavering dedication and all the hard work you put into each event leading up to the 75th anniversary of the U.S. Armed Forces integration. The amount of time and effort you invested in organizing recognition events and connecting me with Air Force historians and archivists did not go unnoticed. I hope you will take time to reflect on all you have accomplished and the important legacy you leave behind. Please accept the very best from Shireen and me, along with our sincerest congratulations to you, Eddie, and Jackson. We wish you and your family happiness and continued success as you begin the next chapter of your lives. Also, thank you for all your efforts working the CSAF 21 to CSAF 22 transition. You made my stepping into CSAF 22 a memorable event. All the best. Sincerely, Charles Q. Brown, Jr., General, United States Air Force, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Thanks, Sam.
Each retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their active duty service. Jax, would you please come forward and stand between General Goldstein and your mother? General Goldstein will now present a retirement pin to Jax to place on Colonel Mentzer's lapel. In the future, each time Colonel Mentzer wears her uniform or business attire, this pin will serve to remind all that she has served faithfully and has earned her retirement. The pin indicates she is forever a member of the Air Force family. Colonel Mentzer, please wear this pin proudly as a reminder of the nation's gratitude for your service. Stay right there, Jack. At this time, we would like to recognize Colonel Mentzer's son, Jax, with a certificate of appreciation. The certificate reads, "To all who shall see these presents, greetings. This is to certify that Jackson C. Mentzer, on the occasion of the retirement of his mother from active duty with the United States Air Force, has earned grateful appreciation for his own unselfish, faithful, and devoted service. His unfailing support and understanding helped to make possible his mother's lasting contributions to the nation." Signed, Lieutenant General Tony Bauerfein, Commander, Air Force Special Operations Command.
Hey, Tony.
Thank you, Jackson. You can be seated. At this time, Colonel Mentzer and Eddie will join General Volpe as he presents Eddie with a letter of appreciation from First Lady Laura Bush in appreciation for all his work and sacrifices in supporting Colonel Mentzer's career. The letter reads, "Dear Eddie, on the occasion of your wife's retirement from the United States Air Force, I am delighted to join a grateful nation in thanking you for your years of steadfast support. The challenges that you have faced and overcome make this moment truly a cause for celebration. Your commitment to your marriage and our country is an inspiration to us all. President Bush and I appreciate your personal sacrifice. Thank you for your contributions to a legacy of peace and liberty for all Americans. We send our best wishes to you and your family. Warmly, Laura Bush." Thank you, General Volpe, Colonel Mentzer, and Eddie. Please take your seats.
Okay, let's get a picture. We're gonna do our own picture.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jax, come up here for a minute. Good pictures you guys have through. Awesome. Now what do we do?
Take your seat. The Honor Guard will now perform the flag folding ceremony to commemorate Colonel Mentzer's selfless and honorable service to a grateful nation.
Staff and march. Forward, march.
For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. In 1776, Betsy Ross crafted the first American flag for a new country on the verge of declaring its independence. On June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress adopted Betsy Ross's flag as the national flag, declaring that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, altering between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence, and blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. Propelled by the work of women like Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Ball, Mary Jackson, Jeanette Schism, and Margaret Hamilton, the American flag was flown in space in July 1969 when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellations, air and space force satellites that circle our globe and on the thin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman and guardian who serve our great nation. The sun never sets on our United States Air Force, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen and guardians remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen and guardians have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve rights, privileges, and freedoms that we, as Americans, enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we invite Major Kate Hewlett to the podium and the leading ladies to take their position.
I apologize in advance, I'm gonna cry through this entire thing. I warned Colonel Mentzer and she picked me anyway, so ma'am, this is on you. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now witness a ceremonial passing of the flag. Colonel Mentzer's rise was not alone. Today before you are phenomenal women who encouraged, inspired, and empowered her rise in rank and responsibility. Colonel Mentzer's retirement flag will be passed between these leading ladies, from person to person, women who have helped her along her journey and had an impact on Colonel Mentzer's life and her career as she reflects on her 27 years of service in the United States Air Force and those who made it possible. Captain Fagan. Captain Fagan has been with Colonel Mentzer her entire career. As an upperclassman in Det 470 at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, Captain Lincoln demanded more of Colonel Mentzer. As General Wolfing pointed out, Colonel Mentzer did not necessarily want to be an ROTC because she saw it as an opportunity to pay her dues to get to the next level. But Captain Lincoln saw the true potential in Colonel Mentzer and refused to settle for less. She helped her become a professional and was responsible for taking Colonel Mentzer from a stealth cadet to a worthy cadet, and helped her rise to her fullest potential, despite herself. Colonel Mentzer became the example cadet and set the standard and the culture. Captain Lincoln made Colonel Mentzer a professional, reminded her of her role as a mentor, remained her constant mentor, and wouldn't let her fail on her path forward or go it alone. Colonel Denise Kerr. Colonel Kerr was Colonel Mentzer's sponsor at Lackland Air Force Base, her very first duty station, where they worked together in the Wing's military personnel flight. They often joke that Colonel Kerr was the worst sponsor ever because she used to complain about being in the MPS. However, her sponsorship turned into a lifelong friendship, and it is the longest friendship Colonel Mentzer has had on active duty. Colonel Kerr welcomed her into the Air Force and has remained her dear friend and constant support. There were times Colonel Mentzer felt that she wasn't being a good friend. She was working too much and wasn't showing up. But Colonel Mentzer taught her the power of connecting with people. She demanded Colonel Mentzer show up for herself, for others, and show up for her family, of which Colonel Kerr played a key role. She was there when Eddie proposed, and she taught Eddie to dance for their wedding. Colonel Kerr showed her what it looks like to fight for what you deserve, to fight for your friends, to fight for your family, and to always show up. And Colonel Kerr has always shown up for Colonel Mentzer. She has never missed a milestone in Colonel Mentzer's career and is here today for the final milestone in a 27-year career. Miss Wendy Smith. Wendy is responsible for the beautiful family Colonel Mentzer has by her side today. Wendy introduced her to Eddie at Izmir Air Base in Turkey, and Colonel Mentzer and Eddie are now godparents to Wendy's daughter. Wendy has been family to Colonel Mentzer her whole career, so much so that Wendy's aunt, who just turned 90, called Colonel Mentzer to say why she couldn't make it today. The Mentzers and Wendy met when they were young together in Turkey. They've grown up together and they've grown together. Wendy has a huge heart and wants to make everyone feel special and welcome. She is a caregiver, and she has cared for Colonel Mentzer and her family throughout her whole career. Colonel Julie Newland. Colonel Newland and Colonel Mentzer worked at the Pentagon as captains together and became fast friends. They have been each other's battle buddy, walking the halls of the Pentagon together, going to Tuskegee Airmen conferences together, and many, many spa trips. The spa is very important to them, so much so that Colonel Mentzer sent Colonel Newland a spa basket while on deployment in Afghanistan to keep her spirits up. Colonel Newland is an amazing personnelist, officer, and woman, always professional, inspiring Colonel Mentzer with the way she led people with kindness and excellence. She taught her the importance of excellence, knowing the regs, book, chapter, verse. That competence, backed up by knowledge, equals excellence, but with kindness equals exceptional. Colonel Mentzer has always admired her for her exceptional qualities and wanted to be like her. Colonel Newland is someone you always want on your team, and she is Colonel Mentzer's teammate for life. Lieutenant Colonel Katrina Felder. Lieutenant Colonel Felder and Colonel Mentzer met at Langley when they were on Headquarters Air Combat Command staff. Lieutenant Colonel Felder is no nonsense. She will tell it like it is, she will not be talked over, and she will be heard. She has a strong sense of justice and fights for her rights with love, tenacity, and calm confidence. Lieutenant Colonel Felder will hold the standard, hold others to a higher standard, and show them what right looks like. She teaches others how to treat her and will never be less than the opportunities available to her. She will always be more. Though small in stature, she has a big voice and big expectations and big courage. She knows what she wants, knows what she deserves, and unapologetically goes after it because she knows what is right, pushes for right, even when it may hurt. All these traits have inspired Colonel Mentzer throughout her career to fight for what is right, for herself and for others, even when it may hurt, even when it may not be the popular thing to do, because Lieutenant Colonel Felder taught her what right looks like. Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer Howland. Lieutenant Colonel Howland and Colonel Mentzer worked together at the Pentagon during a time of reductions in force shaping, and an overall difficult time for the Air Force, especially for personnelists. But Lieutenant Colonel Howland was so perfect in her analysis and officership, working through all the challenges, so much so that when Colonel Mentzer moved into the A1 exec position, she asked to bring Lieutenant Colonel Howard up with her to clear the backlog and turn around the front office, which was struggling at the time. She has always been an exemplary professional, demonstrating how to find harmony between being a professional and a parent. She truly excels at both, to which Colonel Mentzer has now modeled herself. In everything she does, Lieutenant Colonel Howard has shown Colonel Mentzer what the best way is to do things. Colonel Mentzer has said, "I wish I thought of that," because she is just so good, highly informed, a great decision maker, always wanting to help, a servant and a giver, and above all, the way she shows up as a mom has inspired Colonel Mentzer to be that true professional, but find balance with raising Jax and her dual versus dueling careers with Eddie. Lieutenant Colonel Sherry Perkins. Lieutenant Colonel Perkins was Colonel Mentzer's #1 out of 17 flight commanders when she commanded the 379th Expeditionary Force Support Squadron at Al Udeid. Colonel Mentzer took over a squadron that was struggling and a team that was struggling. But Lieutenant Colonel Perkins came in and took over the hardest flight, moved it along, and turned it around. She was phenomenal. A powerhouse, smart, composed, exuberant, and excellent. She made Colonel Mentzer's life as a squadron commander so much better, and she learned so much from Lieutenant Colonel Perkins. She is just good at everything she does, attacks problems with a positive attitude. She is humble while being wicked good. She raises the bar at every organization she's in, bringing a level of excellence that is truly admirable. Watching all the ways Lieutenant Colonel Perkins showed up for her son, set the bar for a parent and a professional, and shaped the way Colonel Mentzer navigated her career, ever a professional, but always showing up for her son and her family. Warrant Officer Maria Santiago. Warrant Officer Santiago is small but mighty. She is a family woman who always puts her family first while aggressively pursuing and achieving her dreams. She says what she is going to do, she has a vision, and she achieves it. Warrant Officer Santiago owns her airspace. She never lets anyone tell her what she can or can't do. Colonel Mentzer learned from her how to graciously deal with difficult personalities, how to build a team, how to organize, support your bosses, and most importantly, make sure everyone is psychologically safe. She has a particular gift at knowing how to get things done, being so forward-looking, figuring out how to handle complex situations and get them done at a high level of excellence. Always committed to the success of her leaders. She has been the best role model and friend to Colonel Mentzer, driving her to aggressively pursue her goals, build teams, ensure her team's needs are met, and support her leaders' goals with professionalism and excellence. Brigadier General Gail Crawford. Colonel Mentzer met General Crawford when they were execs together. For Colonel Mentzer, it was a special moment to see someone else who looked like her. Both parents, both in cool jobs, and both professionals. It's not something you come across often. They shared hardships, hopeful moments, laughed together, held each other up as execs, and helped bring along each other. General Crawford would say, "Let's walk the block, let's talk." And they'd walk the halls of the Pentagon and solve all the world's problems. General Crawford has always been a cheerleader for Colonel Mentzer, keeping her going and constantly showing up for her. She checked in during Colonel Mentzer's wing command, and if she detected any burden, any break in her voice, she would just show up at Maxwell and she'd say, "Let's walk the block, let's talk." Just like she had at the Pentagon. And that is what General Crawford does. She shows up. She wants to share your successes, rise together, and think, how can I push you forward to keep you going? Colonel Mentzer knows that General Crawford will always show up whenever and wherever she needs. Colonel Victoria Bowens. When Colonel Mentzer was a captain at Air Combat Command Headquarters, she met Colonel Bowens, who immediately took her under her wing and said, "I know my stuff, and you're gonna know stuff, and you're gonna know I know stuff." She was so confident and always right. Ever her champion and cheerleader, Colonel Bowens showed up at Maxwell for the presentation of the Congressional Gold Medal by Colonel Mentzer to Private Romaine Davis, a World War II hero and veteran of the 688th Central Postal Directory Battalion, the first all-black, all-female Army battalion to forward deploy during World War II. Colonel Bowens spoke about obstacles women have overcome before her and what we still have to achieve. She is a champion of cheering on women. She has shown her self-worth and had to teach the institution how to treat her for the women who would come up in the military behind her. She is a trailblazer, a connector, an inspiration, an incredible mentor to Colonel Mentzer throughout her career. Lieutenant Colonel Joan Thompson. During her time as wing commander at Maxwell Air Force Base, Colonel Mentzer met Lieutenant Colonel Thompson, who was a new commander in the Space Force, and connected when Colonel Mentzer left a note on Colonel Thompson's desk congratulating her on her command. They worked on the celebration of the 75th anniversary of Armed Forces integration, and Lieutenant Colonel Thompson was the driving force behind it. She can make anything happen. Put her in charge and then get out of the way. She will get stuff done. She is positive, enthusiastic, a huge community volunteer, and constantly champion people. There is nothing she cannot do, and Colonel Mentzer cannot wait to see the impact she will make, showing the world what she has to offer. Kyla Menefee. Colonel Mentzer met Kyla's grandma Jeanette during an epic parenting fail when she ran to Walmart to try and fix said parent fail. A military mother herself, Jeanette was so excited to see a woman in uniform, a black woman in uniform, and a black woman of high rank in uniform. Jeanette told Colonel Mentzer about her granddaughter, Kyla, how she was obsessed with flying, she loved going to air shows and the air park, and even chose to forego a birthday party so she could take her best friend to the Armament Museum. Mind you, she is 6 years old. Colonel Mentzer sprung into action and got Kyla her very own flight suit, surprising her and presenting it to her in front of her entire kindergarten so that Kyla and her classmates could see what she wanted to be and know that she could be a pilot in the Air Force one day. Everything is in that girl's smile. It says, you see me, you care about me, you want to teach me. She is the future, filled with exuberance and hope and possibility. She sees herself exactly as she wants to be, and she knows she can do it. All that these women up here, and Colonel Mentzer, all that they have done throughout their careers has been for her, paving the way. These women before you today have perseverance, persistence, confidence, courage. They've done the hard work to make the Air Force better. Colonel Mentzer's hope is that by the time Kyla is in the Air Force will be worthy of her. Kyla is Evelyn, Denise, Wendy, Julie, Katrina, Jennifer, Sherry, Maria, Gail, Victoria, Joan. She is the embodiment of all these women before you. These women have paved the way for Kyla, and Kyla will pave the way for the unborn Kylas to come. Her smile says, I can do anything, because you did, I can. We look at her, and we believe in her, and we have hope for the future. Today, Colonel Mentzer retires from 27 years of service to our nation. Her career was made possible by these leading ladies. Her life was enriched by their friendship, and her spirit was lifted by their courage. As Colonel Mentzer leaves active duty Air Force today, she is passing the baton to Kyla, and will be cheering her on from the silence. Miss Kyla, will you please pass the flag to Colonel Mentzer? Good job. The flag that has been passed from leading lady to leading lady, carrying the flag as they have carried and supported and encouraged and championed Colonel Mentzer throughout her entire 27-year career in the United States Air Force.
Kate, I feel your pain. That black timing is hard.
Dr. Ali, you were right. Every event I've been in with Dr. Ali, he's like, please don't cry. So I'm gonna get it together. All right, so I'm gonna paste this very quickly. I put some images together so that just in case I miss anybody, you're in the picture. So I thought that'd be a cool way to be able to extend my thanks. So, to Eddie and Jackson, General Goldfein, to our loved ones, my A7 team, to our distinguished guests, to all of our teammates, and all of those that just showed up to make sure I'm leaving. I just want to say thank you for sharing this moment with Eddie, Jackson, and I as we reflect on our family and 55 years of service to our nation. Before I get to that, today I'm going to ask for a new accountability partner, my little nephew Xavier. If I say anything that you don't understand in government group military, or if I cry more, you get free game. So you just say it to me and I'll get it back together. So thank you, Xavier. He is truly air commander material. So all right. Let's see here. Let me first start by thanking today's sponsor, and that would be Spanx. So I have the exact same skirt that I purchased for $10 at the Offutt Air Force Base Goodwill. And I have worked out and starved to get back into it, and it has really shaped my career. While the skirt is the same, I am not. So I'm going to go through this really quick before I pass out. All right. The foundation that Eddie and I have built has really been built our family and careers on. Really started with our families. First I want to say thank you to my sisters and brothers, Erica, Aaron, Jab, and Jarian. As military kids, through all the moves, we always had each other, like instant friends. So, and y'all are a rough bunch, and really quite hard to get anything. But you taught me so much about how to rise in a world where we were not always welcome. My sister will come to the importance of family and unconditional love. And so you raised me in so many ways. And I know our mom, Lenora, is giving them hell in heaven, is incredibly proud of the people, professionals, and parents that all of us are. So thank you. As kids from this picture, we always joked that the kid in the blue suit was mom's favorite. Yeah. And so, although today I'm in the blue suit. You should know I thrived in this blue suit because of all of you. So thank you for always being there, for cheering me and my boys on. I love you and I look forward to more time together in this next chapter. Thank you. To the family that I was so lucky to marry into, Eddie's dad, Larry, and sister Kristen-in-law are with us virtually, and his mom, Donna, is knocking back box wine and arguing with his brother up in heaven. Larry, up here, you and Donna raised an amazing son who could cook, fix stuff, and always make me feel so loved and beautiful. I was destined for a life of case lot sale honeycomb cereal dinners and used my stove for shoe storage before your son. Thank you for welcoming me as your own. And being the awesome grandparent labor for all of our over-the-top birthday parties for your grandson. Thank you for just always being there, Larry. To our extended family, as you can see today, we roll pretty deep. Our aunts, uncles, cousins, nieces, and nephews, sisters, and brothers-in-laws, you have all showed up again and again for Eddie, Jackson, and I, and being with us as we close this chapter of our lives means so much. Thank you. I especially want to thank all of the family legacy of service whose shoulders I stand on and am humbled to follow. You persisted in the Air Force, Army, and Navy, fighting for the right to fight, and paved a better path for me and so many others to follow. I hope as I hang it up today, my service has been worthy of your sacrifice. Don't shoot. All right. Because of you, I and so many others have more freedom to serve. To all of our friends who became family, who have stood with us in truth and welcomed us into your love and trust, because of you, we never had to go it alone. All of you exemplify family, how to be there in hard times, really turn it up in good times, and love in all times. And Eddie and I are so grateful for your love. To all who made today possible, please rise. You know who you are. Okay, I'm going to call you out. Eric, Kate, Josh, the other Josh, Alex, Sherry, Mike, Janice, Amaya, Jay, Kristen, Sophia, Shauna, Chris, and Raz. All y'all stand up. You all, as well as Jonathan and Brian, did a lovely dinner last night. Truth be told, I'm a redheaded, this is Charles 37, middle child black woman, born into the sign of Taurus the bull, and Eries in Greek mythology means god of war. So you had that to deal with, plus I much struggled to embrace this idea of the retirement ceremony, as there's so much more I wanted to give. Nonetheless, all of you helped me get out of my own way, made this moment so incredibly perfect for my family and I. Thank you, and please give all of them a round of applause. To all the caregivers, family and friends, and teachers who helped us raise Jax to be the healthy, kind, creative, courageous, at times challenging, young man. Thank you. Especially to Ebony and Jessica at the Fort Myers CDC, who loved and lifted Jax from 6 months to 6th grade, Ricardo and Lizzie, who giggled and grew with Jax from kindergarten through space and aviation camp, and the amazing educators and coaches at Liza Jackson. Jax is thriving by all measures. You made Eddie and I look like really good parents. Thank you all. To all of the communities who embraced us and uplifted our military lives. Every assignment, you were there, welcoming us, giving us respite, relaxation, renewed energy, and resounding love and support. Thank you. More importantly, thank you for pushing back against the way things have always been, to push through to the more propensity to serve. The all-volunteer force is just that, all volunteers. We need quality and accessible housing, childcare, spouse employment, medical care, inclusive bases and communities to serve. With facing challenges, we need people who want to serve. So to all of the community who partner with us, thank you. To those I've been privileged to serve and serve with, from cadet through colonel, and the friendships made. We enter as individuals, we excel as teams, and along the way, there were so many exceptional teams who hustled and put their whole hearts to serving our nation and making our Air Force and America live up to her values. We are grateful for all the many amazing officer, enlisted, and civilian airmen that poured into Eddie, Jax, and I, and our democracy. Most near and dear to my heart is the A7 team. Change is hard. Change in APSOC? Well, special is in the name. You persisted, and when we hit a barrier, you innovated over and kept pressure forward. More importantly, as each of you grew through personal and professional challenges and opportunities, it was awesome to know you and empower you as cheer dads, new baby daddies, single parent dads, baseball coaches, caregivers for aging parents, soccer dreamers, side hustle real estate moguls, marathon runners, ultimate gamers, and wicked good marksman women. Also, to the very special one of you who pushed me to fly 18 hours around the world to Singapore and then made us have lunch at McDonald's. To all of you, as well as our honorary A7ers in the A6 and A4, whose paper we stole, even though some of you are cowboy fans, each of you are exceptional people because you show up for each other and you showed up for me. I always had the shirt. There he is. To our APSOC leaders, Eddie, Jackson, and I are so grateful for the free Tesla charging, the home with a view of the ocean, partially obstructed, but mostly for your trust to lead such an important mission, sir, and this incredible A7 team. Thank you all for this opportunity. For all the amazing opportunity services that have been extended to us, We've had the chance to do some really cool and amazing things, to meet some really neat people, and to help America really understand the value of our service members through some pretty great civilians that are out there. From doing that to standing up a monument in honor of someone who truly changed our nation. We are so grateful for all of the many cool opportunities that we got a chance to be a part of. Thank you. To our leading lady formation and all the friends who have become family, you persisted with Eddie, Jackson, and I, there to celebrate the achievements, but even more, there to uplift us through adversity. The women today represent so many who made my service possible. All of these wives, moms, daughters, sisters, leaders had to persist at an exceptional level of excellence to be seen, heard, and valued and included, to be here. What makes them incredibly exceptional is what they navigated their own rise, while they navigated their own rise, often the one or only of a few in our formations. They all made time to help other women succeed too. They all made time to help me, and I thank you. And I hope today you feel seen, heard, and valued today. And for all of you, our young Kayla can see herself in higher levels of our service. While time does not permit to name all of my incredible teammates, please keep the porch lights on and get your 50 amp hookup so we can pull up the Airstream in your driveway to extend our personal thanks. To all of my leaders, thank you for the freedom to command, lead, serve, succeed, and especially to fail, so I could grow through challenges and embrace so many incredible opportunities. From the Garzas, who taught me so much about life and leadership as a very young lieutenant, to the Heckers, who empowered Eddie and I with so much freedom to wing command, and all of the exemplary leaders in between, thank you. Without you, we would not be here, and we are so grateful for your trust, confidence, and our ability to lead. To the epitome of leaders, General Goldfein. We met on the ramp at Al-Udeid, Sherry, Thea, I think I saw Thea, there you go, and so many of us from the 379th EFSS honored 85 fallen warriors in my year deployed. General Goldfein, you were the leader that showed up the most to honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom. And you have showed up so many times ever since for Eddie, Jackson, and I. When I first served as your exec, you asked for my help to rescue an air commando who once rescued you. You gave your all to get that air commando the care that was being denied and onto a healthy and meaningful path so today he can succeed. General Goldfein, you continue to amaze as the chief when you quietly worked behind the scenes to right so many wrongs for airmen who were being suffocated by Air Force bureaucrats and Air Force bureaucracies. In your final days as chief, you hosted an Air Force captain who for decades was denied his dreams, making that captain a guest of honor at your own retirement events. Your way of trying to right more than 60 years of wrong by our institution for that captain is something that has inspired me and continues to inspire me as I go forward. Today, you continue to rescue patriots, women that we have left behind when they've served our nation so honorably. And you're quietly doing this behind the scenes. Why? Because it is who you are, the epitome of a leader, so that others may live. Sir, thank you for everything you've done for Eddie, Jackson, and I. Getting it together. And our Air Force, and our nation, and all you continue to do. May all who serve be blessed enough to be led by a General Goldfein. Each time I talked about leaving, which were a few, General Goldfein would ask, are you running to something or are you running from something for these conversations? Sir, I just want you to know I am running to the best version of me. A healthier, more present, better friend. Krista, I know you're like, really? Better friend. Better sister, child, wife, and especially a better mother to Jackson. It took a very long time and lots of heartburn, plus heartburn, look at all that hair, and 26 hours of labor to bring Jackson into this world. Totally worried every stretch mark. Jackson, you absolutely amaze us. You grounded us, challenged us, inspired us, and taught us so much about unconditional love. I know you think that Dad and I have been pushing a specific agenda about what you should be in the future. But you totally grow up to be anything we want. We're not pushing a presidential agenda at all. Not at all. The choice is totally yours. Just know that we love you and are always, always, Dad and I, campaigning for your happiness. And our chance to live in the White House. So Jack's in my better mom role, just in case I helicopter mom in too close with all my free time. I have a little something for you to keep me slightly ahead of you. These are what you've been asking for, Air Force Ones. They are signed by the Air Force One, General Goldstein, who kept me moving towards my best version of me. So, may they also do the same for you. Okay, so should you decide to run, Jax, I will totally monitor the hell out of your campaign. Just keep thinking about it. All right, Eddie. Oh, boy. I didn't get you flowers. But I did put this together just for you.
What if I saw you? You're still
met over a mixtape, here's your mixtape. So, the song is by Shania Twain, Eddie's longtime crush. Luckily, they never met, or this would have never happened. That is until now. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Shania Twain. I think I'm having her. Realty to take my name, so I did that. Do we have kids? That, check. And now he's like, until you change your name on Facebook. So when you log on tonight, you will see I'm now officially Mentzer. You're welcome. The truth is, we are here because of you. You push me in ways I could never push myself. You've been the steady for our family, our greatest cheerleaders, the most selfless and sarcastic man I know. You are always right, according to you. And in this healthy competition, no, sorry, not your word, do not shoot me. That healthy competition, that humor, that anything is possible spirit, oh boy, that friendship, that wickedly awesome creativity, the toleration of my amazing karaoke, and last minute great ideas, witnessing the amazing evolution of you into being a dad that I'm so lucky to love and be loved by. I'm so excited about this next chapter, mostly because it'll be together. All right, this is it. All right, in closing, I leave you with this. 29. 29 is the number of times we lowered the base flag when I commanded Maxwell Air Force Base. Okay, at times it was in honor of an American patriot who lived in a long life in the highest levels of public service. More times than not, it was to bow our heads and other senseless attack on our democracy. American lives cut short long before they reached their full potential. As I end my time on the stage and in this uniform, I leave you with this. First, the double victory. Fighting for our nation, fighting for the right to fight. While exhilarating to serve, I'm equally exhausted of proving that I'm worthy. Our nation's strength is in our unity, and we need all Americans, all talented Americans to be the safe, just, and free democracy we aspire to be. For Americans to win, we need to remove barriers to service with the all-volunteer force, from accessions through VA care, especially VA care now that I'll be a veteran. We need to ensure all veterans have the freedom to serve. In our formations are people so passionate about the past, they prevent our nation from being prepared for the future. We must let go of who we've been to become who we are meant to be. A free democracy secured by a strong military deterrent. A free and just society is strengthened when all citizens are seen, heard, valued, and included in the dream. It is the marginalized who will diminish our democracy from within. So let's get proximity, let's find some common ground with those we most disagree with. United we stand, divided we fall. Our democracy is not perfect, but she is worthy of perfecting. And I have every confidence that Jackson will lead us there in 2040. So thank you, and please reach out if I can help secure your freedom to serve. Thank you.
But thank you, Colonel Mentzer, for your long and distinguished career. Please don't step back into the sunset. Step into your life. You are alive and you're leaders. Thank you. Please join Colonel Mentzer, keeping on forever.
Hey, Carl. Carl, thank you for being here. Awesome, man. Thank you for all what you did. Absolutely. You know, and dude, the president. Just say. Just say. Why not? All the best, man. Trash can. Please, please.
Yes, guys. Party continues. I want to see you guys soon. All right.
Come out of the house there? Yes, please.
Party continues. Hey, did we come back? It's yours. You no, you had two. Wow. Thank you.
Good luck. Oh, I know, it's coming.
Stand right here. Pictures with us. You know, we gotta be seen.
The chief wanted his own. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. You guys keep everybody going, right? A lot of good people that just need love up there. So you all keep going.
No pressure. I knew the pressure was high to follow these two when he got hired.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to. Chief! Oh my God!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Come on in
Take a
here.
picture. No, I want you to I can't do that.
Thank you. Take back the nice things I said.
Thanks, Chief.
I'm sitting with the nose. I'm going to get you. And I know you don't remember me. I know you I'm good. Thank you for being here.
I didn't tell you not to. I'm trying to get my wedding.
It was in Nigeria.
Oh, I would have loved to go to Nigeria. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, so do you. And you're coming to the house? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Come over to my house on the street. Your house barbecue. Okay. Need to meet you. Okay. Secrets. Okay. I'll talk about that. Nice to meet you.
Oh, can you do it?
Here we go. New York. Yes. Yes.
Okay, you do it. That is impressive.
Come to the Okay, great. You look amazing. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Thank you.
Sia, nice to meet you.
Yes. I was going through, I saw photos, like all the photos in here. I was like, oh my God, thank you for coming.
I was really excited to get this.
1, 2, 3.
I'll talk to you more. Okay, I'll come. Yeah, and Sherry and I are staying together. Perfect. So,
All right.
thank you. Congratulations. Today? I'd like to leave by 4, but yeah, definitely will. Yeah, we've already planned the girls' trip that you're hosting at your house. We told you, but we will let you know that, but we've already been in cahoots.
Well, thanks to Eddie, we got the pool on the spot.
Hey, we're ready. We're ready. We'll see you soon.
Ma'am.
Thank you. I'll probably do that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
The chief wanted his own. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. You guys keep everybody going, right? A lot of good people that just need love up there. So you
Jackson, no pressure. I knew the pressure was high to follow these two when he got hired.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Chief! Oh my God!
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's take a picture. No, I want you to hold it. I can't do that.
Thank you. Take about the nice things I said.
Thanks, Chief.
I'm sitting with the other girl. I'm going to get you one.
Thank you. How are you?
And I know you don't remember me. I'm going to
I would love to go to Nigeria. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Okay, so do you. And you're coming to the house? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Come on, my house is on the street. Your house barbecue. Okay. Need to meet you. Okay. Secrets. Okay. I'll talk about that. Nice to meet you.
Oh, can you do it?
Here we go. New York. Yes. Yes.
Okay, you'll do it. That is impressive.
Come to the house. Come to the house? Okay. Great. You look amazing. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Thank you.
Sia, nice to meet you.
Yes.
Yes. I was going through, I saw photos, like all the photos in here. I was like, oh my God, thank you for coming.
I was really excited to get this.
1, 2, 3.
I'll talk to you more. Okay, I'll come. Yeah, and Sherry and I are staying together. Perfect. So,
All right.
thank you. Congratulations. Today? I'd like to leave by 4, but yeah, definitely will. Yeah, we've already planned the girls' trip that you're hosting at your house. We told you, but we will let you know that, but we've already been in cahoots.
Well, thanks to Eddie, we got the pool on the spot.
Hey, we're ready. We're ready. We'll see you soon.
Ma'am.
Thank you. I'll probably do that.
Hey, Carl, thank you for being here. Awesome, man. Thank you for all the work you did. Absolutely. And dude, the president. Just saying. Just saying. Why not? All the best, man. Trash can.
Please, please.
Yes, God. Party continues. Good to see you guys, Sarah. All right.
Coming out of the house there? Yes, please.
Party continues.
Hey,
It's yours. No, you had two.
wow.
Thank you.
Good luck. Oh, I know, it's coming.
Stay right here. Take pictures with we gotta be seen.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls the suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss. Just something